Hey team, and welcome to the Building in Perth podcast with your host, Chris Holland. So today's podcast is going to be about the industry. Where are we sitting just now? How long are builders taking? Are material prices still increasing? And are there trades available? The last 24 months plus maybe 36 months has been immeasurable, basically, in Western Australia. So today's podcast, we're going to dive straight into it and let's start talking about what's happening out there.
Welcome, property investors. This is the Building in Perth podcast. If you're a property investor or you're curious about investing in property in Western Australia, this is the podcast for you. The reason for that is we're not going to hold back. We're not going to sugarcoat things. We're certainly not going to bullshit you. And we're going to exploit everything that you need to know. There's a lot of negative press at the moment in WA regarding building, and it doesn't have to be. So what we're going to do is help you navigate through that bullshit and create your wealth free of charge. We're just giving you this information. Every month we're going to have special guests on who are industry professionals, and then we're going to release an episode every single Monday. So you're not going to miss anything. So please stay tuned, like, subscribe so you never miss anything, and enjoy.
So guys, yes, today I've had a few inquiries, again, on these social media channels that watch me posting often, you know, Building in Perth, Carpenters in Perth, 𝗕𝗂𝗶𝗆 Builders, etc., etc. I'm quite an active member on these groups, just sharing my information back with the community, I guess, for no benefit other than giving honest feedback. So as per that honest feedback, a lot of questions that I'm getting in DMs from people I don't know, not my clients, whatever, basically, what's happening with the market? You know, I've been monitoring the market for the last 18 months or so. Is conditions stabilizing? Are prices coming down? Are trades readily available? Material, etc., etc. And number one, how long are build times? So let's start straight from that. Build times with project builders are still 12 months plus, 18 months in some cases. And unfortunately for some very poor clients that made poor choices, 2 years and or more. Forget double stories. A lot of the builders that actually advertise double stories aren't even taking them on at the moment. But they advertise double stories in hope that they can sway you to a larger block potentially and a single story home. So just keep that in mind. Now, build times, some of the bigger project builders are offering 9 and 10 month guarantees, and that's not completely untrue. But I guess what they're not telling you for the likes of Home Group WA, it's taken 6, 8, 9 months to get through the admin phase. So you think you're going to get a 9 or 10 month build time? That is only from slab down. Let me make that clear. When these companies advertise these guarantees and stuff, it's only from when the slab gets poured. So there's I could sit here and name them all, to be honest, but there's so many builders now, 9 and 10 month guarantees, which is fine. Ask them about the admin phase. How long will it take to get to your building permit? If your finance is ready and you've settled on your block of land, how long will it take until you're ready to pull that slab? That's very important, right? A lot of these guarantees are coming out with the construction side of things, but they've still got 400, 800, 1,200 homes to build in front of you. The admin process of a build takes about 3 months. So from when you sign up your PPA or your first original contract, it takes about 3 months. Now that's justified. Builders have to get about 8 reports on any given block of land, your site survey, your soil compaction test, energy reports, engineering, not to mention amendments to the plans once you do pre-start, updated elevations, color choices. Sorry, tongue twister that. All of these type of stuff, bushfire attack level, each one of these sort of reports, let's say, that we have to obtain, take anywhere from 3 to 8 days on average, and there's multiple of them that we have to gather. Then we have to send it off to an independent surveyor, and get a CDC, which is called a CDC package. Basically, is all of those plans and reports get checked by an independent person's. Then it gets signed off. Then we submit to council. Then the council takes roughly 10 days to come back to us and give us a build permit. Sometimes the council will come back and say, hey, this all looks good, but we need more clarification on this item or this item, and we go back and amend it again. So the admin phase takes about 3 months, not pre-start. That gets done in conjunction with all of that stuff that I've just mentioned. But the admin phase itself takes about 3 months. Now, These bigger builders, unfortunately, as a starting point, takes 6 months. So when you're getting excited and you're looking for blocks and you're looking for houses and stuff like that, and you're picking home floor designs, and that's all you want. You just want to hurry that process up, obviously. But the longer that takes, then you sign up. Let's say you sign up in December with not all project builders, just 99% of them. Or anyone that builds sort of more than 200 homes a year, essentially, are going to have a backlog of administration. Normally, the administration size of a department that actually deal with this process is quite small, and they can these sort of predominantly females or blokes in the office handle about 40 to 200 jobs at any one time. So there's a lot of work there. You're just another number with these bigger companies. So just please bear in mind, it will probably take 6 months. But back to my example, if you sign up in December and they've offered you a ripper deal and they're throwing in a free 𝘁𝗵𝗲 appliance or something like that, that's all good. But it takes 6 months, 7 months, 8 months to actually get to slab down. Are they going to price increase you? Yes, absolutely they are. Because on to my next topic, how are the materials coming in at the moment? Are they stabilized? Are they still increasing? Or are they decreasing? Well, number one, they are 100% not decreasing, and I don't think they ever will. Not many things in life actually come down, other than the money in your bank account. But when it comes to buying material with inflation and everything else, materials are not going to get any cheaper. So if you're sitting waiting for the market to stabilize and hopefully, house prices come down a little bit, it just ain't happening, unfortunately, okay? Just get that through your head. Build prices are not going to come down. The exact same as land prices are not going to come down. But the good news is I've seen pretty consistent the last 3 months. Build prices are relatively stable. There are still increases every month, which is not abnormal to prior to this, the last 24 months, 36 months. Build prices do increase, but they're only very slight. So if I was to give you an estimate, house prices are increasing about $2,000 a month, maybe $1,000, $2,000. There's nothing significant. The main push during that time, or the main increase, I guess, was brick labor, not material, but timber material. So they were the two main driving factors. And then obviously Gyprock and CSR and everyone else jumps on the board, and the cement companies, they all started increasing their prices as well. But yeah, for the last 3 months, it really has stabilized. But just keep in mind it will increase roughly $2,000, let's say, per month. So if you're sitting taking your time, you're sussing your options out, and it takes 3 months to do so, expect to pay $5,000 to $6,000 more than what was originally quoted. And if you do make the silly decision of signing up with a big builder, that administration time is going to be 6 months plus at least. So if you're still keen on going with, a larger builder, ask them for a guarantee. Ask them that they'll have your build permit, not so much a slab down, but your build permit within 3-4 months. That's achievable. And if they're confident that they don't have a backlog of administration work, they'll give you it. Simple as that. The issue when you talk with these big builders are you're not talking to anyone. You're talking to a sales consultant. They actually don't care. They're going to tell you exactly whatever you want to sign you up so they get the commission. You deal with a more smaller niche custom builder, you're generally going to be dealing directly with the builder himself, or herself, I should say. Another pros and cons of the both, I guess. But yeah, so material prices, yes, they are stabilizing, which is great. Builders' prices are stabilizing, but there still is slight increases each month. Now, lastly, labor. What's the labor situation out in Perth at the moment? So again, 18 months ago, let's say, was the height of it, and it was just insane. Like, you could not get a bricklayer for 3 months, 4 months. And even at that, if you book in a bricklayer in 3 months' time, let's say, for this agreed rate, well, at the time it was $250 a roughly 3 a face, or some people were paying more than that. In 6 months' time, when they've penciled you in for that 2 weeks or whatever it is it takes to build the house, and someone offers them an extra few bucks, there's no loyalty when it comes to subcontractors. They'll go whatever pays more money. It's just common sense. Would you? As a subcontractor, you get to pick and choose who you work for. And 99% of the builders only hire subcontractors. So there is no loyalty. So even if your supervisor is great at your big project company and they book, their mate in or whatever for the start of next month, if there's another job that pays more or a 𝗕𝗂𝗄𝗃 comes up or whatever, gone. They're gonna take that immediately before they go and work for your big project builder that tries to screw them down on rates, back charge them, and all the other jazz that comes with it. So again, I do harp on a little bit about this, but if you can find yourself a builder with full-time employees, the controllability of the build and your timeline and your schedule, it can be a lot more accurate. And that's why we offer 6-month build times, because a house only takes approximately 4 months to build, max. You have to allow delays for things to cure, drying time, stuff like that. There is going to be, it's not like every single day there's a tradie on site. That's just, that doesn't happen. Things happen, life gets in the way, etc., etc. But when you go with a company that has full-time employees, it's a lot more achievable to hit that 6-month mark. So we offer 6 months. These companies offer 9 months, potentially. But even at that, I don't believe it. But the administration phase takes ages. So shortage of trades at the moment, I guess. Bricklayers are pretty stable. You can get a brickie within 3 or 4 weeks. From my experience, I've got a range of different bricklayers, or I've got a book of trades, what I call. Basically an Excel spreadsheet of all the contacts that I've had since I started in the construction industry in 2006. So there's quite a lot there. Concreters are good. Normally they can get you in within a week. Let's start from the bottom. So earthworks, within a week. Concreters, within a week. The good thing about concrete is they prep it. It takes about half a day to prep a job, and then they pour it and it's done. If it's a double brick construction, normally they do it in 2 phases, footings and then the slab work. So 2-3 days max and the concrete's done. Termite guys, they can get there the next day. Pre-lay, normally within a week. They've got a bit more heavy machinery and stuff, but your drains and your pre-lay, it only takes a day. Bricklayers, yeah, bricklayers are good now, I believe, and the rates are coming down significantly. Brickies are now getting about $2 a face brick, $1.80 roughly. I continue to see that still decreasing, especially as the more houses that are getting built in timber and or steel. So bricklayers are okay. Within 3 weeks or so, you'll get a bricklayer on site. Carpenters, on the other hand, with the massive increase of especially these steel frame constructions, there was a big push from the likes of Centurion and Summit, and the ABN group employed a company called Centurion, who formerly actually installed Centurion garage doors. Steve, the owner, great businessman. He's seen an opportunity in the market to capitalize on a brick veneer construction, signed up with a lot of big project builders and took on a lot of workload. The unfortunate thing is, it's not really, it's quite simple to put these steel things together, but you need a carpenter. I think Steve's main focus was you could get anyone to install these things. It's nice and simple. It's someone's house. You can't hire a monkey to do a professional job. So carpenters now are probably, I would say, the second most in-demand trade. If you're a decent chippy and you're not, from Western Australia, it's strange. In your apprenticeship over here in WA, carpenters only learn roof carpentry, or they only learn doors, or they only learn kitchens. Sometimes they do cabinet making, or they only learn how to do flooring. It's real weird. The rest of the world, a chippy can do everything. So all-rounded carpenters are like gold dust, but even just trying to get a roof chippy at the moment, you're probably 4 to 6 weeks wait. Another reason for that, depending on the size of the house, a roof takes about a week to 2 weeks to build. If it's a big house, it's 2 weeks. If it's a smaller build, yeah, you can get it in 3-4 days sometimes, but generally a good rule of thumb is it takes a week to build a roof. So they're going to have 3 or 4 jobs ahead of them. Therefore, you're going to come in at the 5, 6, 7, 8 week mark. The rarest trade in the market at the moment is roof sheeters. So again, this is another weird thing about Western Australia. A roof sheeter is called a roof plumber, but God forbid they put gutters and downpipes on as well. That's a different trade altogether. So there's 2 roof plumbers. There's one that comes in first and puts your gutters and downpipes on before the roof gets sheeted, after the roof carpenter's finished. Then another team will come in and actually throw your sheets on. This is where I'm finding or hearing from other building partners and stuff, the hardest trade or the most unstuck at the moment is roof sheeters. Why that's very important? Builders get paid in stage claims, which I've explained in other podcasts. Generally speaking, it's slab down, plate high, which means when your bricks and or your timber walls are built to the top, the builder gets a bit of money. He then pays the roof chippy, he pays for the roof timbers to get delivered, he has to pay for the roof sheets to get delivered, then he has to get someone to come and install them. Once he gets that on, so the gutters, downpipes and the roof sheets are on, we get what's called roof cover. So there's another claim now. So it's very important, and these guys are basically picking the prices. They used to install for about $7 a square meter. I'm getting quotes now for $25, $30 a square meter to install roof sheeting. It's insane. There's a couple of big companies in the market, like Kinsella, who I don't recommend, that hire anybody to chuck roof sheets on, and you end up getting a lot of backlash with these bigger companies. It probably is better to get a 2, 3, 4-man band and wait your 8 weeks to get your roof cover on. However, yeah, the prices of the roof sheet itself has increased significantly, as well as the materials. So CMI, Stratco, whoever you're using for your roof sheets have increased the price of ColourBond significantly, and gutters and fixings and screws and stuff like that. So that is probably the hardest trade in the market, I believe, to find. From that point on, electrical and plumbing, tube out and stuff like that only takes a day. There's not much delay there. Gyprock, there's a little bit, but again, if you're an all-round carpenter, then they should be doing that as well. But here in WA, that's like a different trade. It's called ceiling fixing. It's just insane. It's insane how backwards we are in Western Australia in terms of the apprenticeship process. Very specific learning, very sectored market, I'm trying to say. Why can't a carpenter throw gyprock sheets up and then flush it? They do everywhere else in the world, just not Western Australia. So anyway, you get your ceiling fixers in. They're readily available. There's a few big companies that sort of dominate the market. I'm talking about, 50, 60 employees that work as tradies, and they get company cars and stuff. They're pretty good. It doesn't take long either to install your gyprock and then flush it. Tilers are readily available. There's so many tilers. Turkish tilers and ethnic tilers, I feel, are the best. Italians, if you can afford them, but generally ethnic trades, I don't know, they're just always really, really good, pedantic, neat and tidy with tiling. Recommendation. Shower screens, mirrors, all that type of stuff, all pretty good. Flooring companies, again, if you've got an all-round carpenter, he should be able to do all of this, but even flooring companies and supply and material, it's all back to normal. So roof sheeters, I would say, is your biggest delay at the moment, followed by carpenters, if you're a real carpenter, roof carpenter, if you want to categorize the carpentry sector the way it is in WA here, followed by bricklayers. But everything is starting to get back to normal. So build times are stabilizing. The point of this podcast is just to let you reiterate that the administration phase is still a joke. It's still 6 months minimum for most companies. The build times are clawing themselves back a little bit, but the administration is still taking the same. So you're still looking at 14 to 18 months on average, I would believe, from signing your contract to actually getting your keys. With the interest rates, obviously, they are stabilizing. The last 4 months, the Reserve Bank have held the rate, which is great, but hey, that is just a crystal ball. Who knows? I have information that they're coming down, but I had that 4 months ago as well. So who knows with that? So I hope that helps, guys. I hope that gives you a bit of feedback that, in short, if I was to summarize things, number one, prices are not decreasing. They never will decrease, land and house. They're going to continue to rise, but a lot more achievable now. Number two, trades are readily available again. There's only a few trades which I've just unpacked that has a bit of a lead time, but for the best part, it's okay. Especially if you're using a company that uses full-time employees, not subcontractors, because again, there's just no loyalty there. Number three, material prices have stabilized significantly. Again, still increasing, but over the scope of a full house, it could be 1 or 2 or 3 materials a month that are increasing 2 or 3%. So it's not gonna kill you the way it was, 12 months ago when everything was just increasing by 15%. So yeah, material prices are stabilizing as well. So in short, is it a good time to build? I believe so. Just be so careful with who you're signing up with. Just make sure they have the capacity to achieve the administration process in 3 months. And I believe 6 months to build a house, but even at that, give them 9 months. Should take 12 months from signing up to getting your keys. Don't be another statistic. Don't be another unhappy customer. But listen, other than that, the market's changing. People have got the confidence back to trust builders again. You know, it did dip for a while there. But I do believe a lot more people are signing up. You see a lot more marketing and advertising. And more importantly, happy clients getting into the house finally. Stop paying extortionate high rent rates, which again, that is not going to come down. That's just a fact. The rental prices, if you're renting just now, is going to continue to increase unless you're on an absolute winner. But instead of spending 25 grand a year or 30 grand a year in rent, just get your own place. There's a few government schemes out to help you obtain finance as well. The government really is helping, which is helping the builders have the opportunity to build more houses at the correct rate. So yeah, look, the market's looking good. In short, if you're looking to build, is it a decent time? Yes, I believe so. If you wait 6 months, are you going to get a better deal? No, absolutely not. Thanks for listening, guys. If you're interested, reach out to me. Please click like, subscribe, share to all your friends, and have a great week. Cheers.